Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. Hi. Hold on. Hi. Hold on. There's an even better one. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. Happy Friday. This is giving me another low energy. I'm feeling low energy. I guess maybe it's because I worked out and then I took a shower. Yeah, but first time. So Henry uses Sega Dreamcast in .com. Fuck. Bray Wyatt has disturbing Firefly fun. Jim Cornette reviews Cody Rhodes confrontation. No. Windows 96 album that Biden, Trump, Obama, Fire Emblem. I don't really like Fire. I was saying this earlier today to one of my friends. I was like, I'm a the strategy game that I ended up investing the most in, and really it was only one strategy game, was um Shining Force. Shining Force. I too. Yeah, there we go. Hey, game I invested. Shining Force. One. It was back. It was back before I realized emulators were a thing. I got the Sega Smash Pack. Um, the Sega Smash Pack 2 for the PC, and that was like that was honestly like an amazing point in my childhood where I was like, what? Sega made a bunch of PC ports for their games. Okay, so I ended up and this and mind you, I need you to understand, I wasn't like full on board the PC train until like 2015. But I was trying. I was trying. Of course, I was a little kid, so it wasn't like I could convince my parents to get me an expensive high end PC. I wouldn't know shit about what to do with it. But yeah, the Sega Smash Pack 2. Let me Google. Oh, also, not to get too invested in the drama, because I don't want to get just talk about that drama, because I'm of two minds of it, and I'll. Who Jesus, Jesus. Okay, so I'm of two minds to it, because I do think that all the harassment and all the doxing that the people are getting is bad. However, I do think a certain community really needs a good PR makeover, because many of the people that represent that community are neurodivergent, and then take it from somebody that falls under that category. I understand. Not they're not. We're not all great. We are not PR experts at all. None of us are. Even though I would say I have a good sense about things, I no, I wouldn't hire me for to handle PR. And I think that's what needs to be done. Someone needs to um, handle their PR, and maybe apologies need to be in order. One side needs to give an apology first, and then the other side should apologize in turn. I do believe emotions got heated, and Naruto E1 book is so cool.
Inch screen. One of the great things about this, it's very simple to use. It has the entire collection of Naruto, all 72 volumes, and it's just awesome to be able to see this and have.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of neat. I mean, I'm not really into it. Not into Naruto. I tapped out of. I'll tell you what. I tapped out of Boruto when the ten-tailed beast started looking like Frieza. Uh, I might go back in, because because uh, the dinosaurs, Sasuke fighting dinosaurs is way cooler than it has any right to be. And dinosaurs having different chakra than humans, and therefore it's weird, and therefore they're like immune to Sharingan or whatever. That's actually kind of cool. Even though people think it sounds dumb, it's some real Silver Age comic book shit. But I'm all in on it. Um, where is my? But yeah, no. Someone was. threatening the Silver Veil, and just so we're clear, I don't. The only V shoujo I like are Keisan and Iron Mouse, and I couldn't care less about any of the other ones. I think a lot of them are have issues, especially one of them. You know who I'm talking about. I think if you know, you know. One of them has a lot. One of them is 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 the character that they're playing. I'll say that. Uh but but someone was threatening uh Silver Veil. However, they made a typo, and 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 they said there's no excuse for playing this game. Silverdale deserves far worse than this, and so does every other despicable waste of flesh who plays this terrible game. Now, again, here's I stopped caring about the Wizard franchise in middle school. I think anyone making a big stink about it in either direction is wasting their time. I get it. She's an awful person, and she is suing people for bad mouthing her. However, her country does not have free speech laws, so there's not really anything you can do about that except come to America, I guess, or a place where there is free speech. But anyways, they said Silverdale, and well, yeah, Silverdale. You know, I want to play this game about wizards. Yeah. Joan comes from a country without free speech. Who knows what sort of dastardly deeds they're doing in there? In that UK. So yeah, that was my contribution to the quote unquote culture war. Silverdale. And mind you, it comes from a place of I saw a comic called uh Assigned Dale. And I won't show you the comic because I feel like I'll get banned, or I'll get in trouble for showing the comic. Just look up Assigned Dale, and you know. But back to Sega Smash Pack 2. Sega Smash Pack 2 had 7 Sega classic hits and a bonus game called Sega Swirl, which was on the Dreamcast. And uh and that's where I played Shining Force. And look, there's Vector Man 2, there's Flicky, there's Sonic 2, but I had played Sonic 2 plenty of times by that point. But all the other ones were new to me. I had never played any of the other ones. Uh, I'm not sure what they used to run this, but I think it's cool that there was an era where Sega was releasing a lot of their games on PC when they really didn't have to. But like they released Virtua Fighter 1 and 2 on PC. They released Daytona on PC. I believe that was a really good version of the game. They released Sonic R on PC, and I got that I got Sonic R. I understand it's a it's kind of a meme game, but I enjoyed it. One cup and your lungs are up. fact, how about oh shit. Oh shit. Oh man, I gotta go to Target. Cheap Ass Gamer posted a Target ad. And in that Target ad, there's a Sony software sale. Last of Us Part 1's $49.99. I wouldn't recommend it. Spider-Man Miles Morales is $20. Nintendo Switch sale. Live Alive. And Zelda Link's Awakening remake. Wait. Why is the PS5 DualSense? Oh, the DualSense Edge controller. But PS5 is $559.99. I kind of want to get one eventually. Someone said it's kind of crazy that the Last of Us sale price, in quotes, is $50. It should have been that at most at launch, and yes, it should have been. Feel the sunshine that right up and down. Sometimes to run away. Let's see. But where was I? Right. What to do about this shit? Can you feel it? Oh! What I need to do here is I need to check real quick how many. I just need to know how many parts I need, you know?
Hi guys, check if everything is formatted correctly in this video. Life to you might seem daunting at times, but so is learning how to use Photoshop or whatever. Parts show all the parts of the movie.
Hair parts, face parts, choker, sweater collar, arm, torso, legs. Okay, alright, okay, alright. Alright, okay. Okay! Yeah. Can you feel the sunshine? Mm. No, I'm doing smart. How did I make it look on my ping, my PNG? Fakes, hanging my legends wraps. Streaming avatars. I made it round. I did. Okay, I made it round. I suppose I could. You gotta reach out. Does that look That look good? I have no fucking idea. Maybe. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. Honestly, every single Sonic R song is a banger. I'm not, and I'm not embarrassed to admit it. Living in the city. Oh, you have to. Yeah, the game that. Oh, I got adjust my microphone. Can you feel that? Can you feel it? Now, what I understand. Someone watching this is gonna be thinking like, why is his hair like that? And I understand. There is no. I need to. I need to figure something out because there's that there. So I don't know, if you reach behind your ear, you'll notice there is no hair behind your ear, unless like no hair grows behind your ear. If there's hair behind your ear, it's because your hair is too long. But no, there's no hair doesn't grow right behind your ear. And I learned, and you know who I learned that from? I learned that from fucking Titty Kubo himself, the Bleach guy, because I guess he used to draw hair growing behind the ears, and then he saw like Ichigo's character design in like the Bleach anime, and he's like, oh, that's I guess he noticed like, oh yeah, the hair doesn't grow behind the ear. A dreamer. To keep that dream alive. Am I doing here? Alright. Oh, not here. I'm not in here. Take me back in time to another one. Oh. I really don't know what Sega was thinking when they gave Sonic R such a good soundtrack, but I'm glad they did it. Oh, that's fucked. Oh, I mean, that's not as fucked. I mean, here's what I can do. In time to another world. Oh shit. Back in time. We'll leave that there, and I will erase this real quick. Oh, you know what? You can't even see that. Let me fix that. There we go. Back to this. I guess this works. Yeah, this could do it. This could fix it. Yeah, this is close to what I'm trying to do. I just saw Twitter a tweet of Kojima sitting with Norman Reedus. Like a diamond in the sky. Oh shit. Where I don't know. Uh, I still think I'm fucking up. Feel so high. I want to hear you say goodbye. I guess I could just do fists. I don't know. All the good music's over. There's the Roblox. What? Oh. Honestly, that's a game we should play. Eggman Hates Furries is just like one of the best Sonic fan games ever made. That's not Sonic Roboblast. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. But then like and then it gets really good because you get fucking 7 Force out of nowhere. Eggman eats. What the fuck? Yeah, no, Eggman Hates Furries is just like a boss rush game, and it's so fucking good. Like, all the bosses are fantastic. It's very quick if I do well enough. It's just the ending is. Paul even tells Jimmy Uso to face his brother Jay alone. Alright.
That's our brother. Since Royal Rumble, things been getting crazy, man. A few weeks ago, when we defended those tag team championships, I knew Jay was gonna be there for me. For us. Since Montreal, man, I don't know, man. Feels different. Think he might be spooked over this whole Sammy thing.
That's the case. Why doesn't Solo stay back here with me? And you handle Jay face to face, man to man, twin to twin, Uso to Uso, personally.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Sammy confronts Jimmy Uso. Jay Uso.
Since Royal Rumble, things been getting crazy, man.
Get to the bottom of the bloodline issues next. show up weeks ago.
So if you're not here,
Oh, I can't show it because I'll get flagged. So I can react to it.
so if you're not here, I know you out there watching somewhere. From brother to brother, I know you're torn.
Why don't
I know
you?
you're hurting.
What the? Some idiot. Let me see. Let me boost this shit. Listen.
I know you're torn.
Why don't you trim your beard?
I know you're hurting. I know. And when you hurt, I hurt, Oos. But I just want to tell you, I will always be here for you, no matter what. I'm always here for you, Oos, just like I need you to be here for me right now. They talking, people saying there's cracks in the bloodline. Now listen, I know there's issues going on. Everything's been crazy. We got a Sami Zayn problem. We got a Kevin Owens problem. Me and you need to defend these tag team championships. And on top of that, I know you got issues with the tribal chief. And I can't do this alone.
I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to fight. I know you want to talk to Jay. Trust me, I'd like to talk to him too, but right now, I need to talk to you. Because every time I hear you use that word, brother, that breaks my heart, man, because that's what you were to me. You were my dog, man. Remember that? We were dogs. You had my back in the bloodline from day one. When Jey Uso didn't trust me, you did. When Paul Heyman saw no value in me and shooed me from Roman's locker room, you saw value in me. You were the one who made me the honorary use. Remember that? Without you, there is no honorary use. There's no Sami Uso. There's no feeling Usi. But when things went south at the Royal Rumble, you didn't even think twice. You took me down with zero hesitation. Jimmy, I have to let you know, man, that hurt. That hurt.
I need a good hand reference. Why can't I find a good hand reference? I have this huge ass folder of hand references, and I can't.
You're so damn selfish.
Oh,
You want to blame me? You want to put the blame on me? It was you. You're the one that made that choice. You had that chair in your hand. You're the one that pulled the trigger. You're the one that made the choice. You stepped on me and you stepped on Jay. What was I supposed to do, huh? Listen, you made the choice and I did what I had to do. That's what family do. But you know what family don't do, Roos? They don't betray you.
Yeah, let me tell you what else family doesn't do, okay? They don't make you test your loyalty every single week. They don't make you jump through hoops just to prove that you're worth something. They don't manipulate you every single week like Roman Reigns did to me, the way Roman Reigns has done to your twin. That's what he did, not for weeks, not for months, for years. Listen to me. The bloodline is not about Roman Reigns. The bloodline is about one man. And I am going to make sure, if it's the last thing I do, that Roman Reigns and the bloodline comes crumbling down. But there's a way out for you, okay? Just like I told Jay, there's a way out for you. You don't have to go down with the ship. And I'm looking in your eyes, and I know you know what I'm saying is true. And
Oh! Sammy was glancing up at Jey Uso, who's arrived here in the arena, and Jimmy, with a cheap shot, I guess you would describe, went right after Sami Zayn. He didn't want to hear anymore, despite the fact that Sammy may have been making some sense.
Sami Zayn walks straight into a trap tonight. The trap is sprung.
Helluva Kick by Sammy to Jimmy Uso. Jimmy was looking back at his brother. Sammy struck.
Holy shit. A person named Ryan Roblox, it's free. Oh shoot. He's from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, no, he's not from Dragon Ball Z. He's not from Dragon Ball Z. He's an original character, Donut Steel. But hello, a person named Ryan. I hope you're having a good Friday.
Solo Sikoa, Jimmy and Jay's younger brother, is out here. And again, Jimmy was
Jesus.
Sami Zayn with a Helluva Kick, and there was a very interesting look here between Jay and Sammy.
We're just left with more questions here, Cole.
A lot of questions, Wade. Next week, Roman Reigns will be here.
That was an interesting segment. Jimmy and Solo need to figure out for themselves, not let Roman tell them what to do. He's not a tribal chief. No, he does not lead his tribe. He's a king who manipulates his subjects in the pawns. Oh, okay. Fucking marks. Everyone wants to hit Dominic Mysterio. Ah, funny. Shondo is graduating. I love Sean.
You know, guys, I think we can all agree that things have gotten a bit out of hand in the past. But I'm happy we're able to come together and play this game. It's nice to be able to relax and just chat without all the noise and drama.
I couldn't agree more. This game can be a great stress reliever. It helps me take my mind off things and just enjoy the moment.
I feel the same way. It's important to take a break from the world and just have some fun. And it's nice to be able to do that with you guys.
I've said some things in the past that I regret, and I know you guys have too. But at the end of the day, we all just want what's best for this country.
That's true. We may have different ideas on how to get there, but we all want the same thing. We want a better future for everyone.
I think it's important for us to show that even if we have different opinions and beliefs, We can still work together and
What
respect each
what
other.
a wholesome.
We may not always agree, but that doesn't mean we have to hate each other.
Exactly. We can have healthy debates and discussions without resorting to name-calling and insults. And if we can do it, maybe others can.
I think that's the key. If more people saw us working together and having fun, they might realize that it's possible to disagree and still get along. Oh, I'm murderer. Let's catch this dub.
Joe, I see you with the knife right now. You're doing a very piss-poor job as murderer.
Oh, hey, Obama.
Yo.
Obama, Joe's the murderer. Go shoot him already.
Nah, bro, we're teaming.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck do you mean you're teaming?
It means we're not going to kill
I
each
know
other.
what the fuck teaming is, dumbass. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to team in Murder Mystery 2?
Oh, Donald, you're just mad you don't have any friends to team with.
At least I'm actually playing the game fair, Sleepy Joe. You're rigging a murder mystery round harder than you rigged the election.
Come on, man, that's not funny. Obama just shoot him already.
Aight.
Obama, you realize we both die if you shoot an innocent, right? Obama, you are on God, one of the worst Murder Mystery 2 players I have ever seen, Jesus fucking Christ.
Thanks, Obama. Now I won the round.
Yeah, fuck both of you. I'm quitting MM2. The game barely fucking updates anyway.
Guys, can we play some CSGO, please? It's been ages since we have.
Joe, I thought we agreed we would be playing Valheim today.
Donald, that's tomorrow, man. Let's play some CSGO Joe. Let's fucking go.
Fine.
Oh shit, looks like I got the bomb.
Of course, you fucking get it, Barack.
Wait, why don't I have the bomb, man? I wanted it.
I don't fucking know, Donald. Stop fucking complaining.
Shut the fuck up, Joe.
What?
Go fucking check on your mother. I did her pretty hard last night.
I didn't fucking say anything.
Fuck you.
Ooh, I see a guy. Shit, I fucking missed.
Unlucky, man.
He fucking killed me, the cunt.
Well, maybe if your hands weren't so fucking shaky, Sleepy Joe, you may be able to fucking hit someone.
Bro, fuck you, man. Fuck you.
Is it because you haven't had your little Biden nappy-wappy yet? Oh, go take it, you fucker.
All right, Joe. I have planted the bomb.
Yeah, you got some experience doing that, don't you, Barack?
Shut the fuck up and come help me defend. They'll never defuse.
Oh, take that shithead. I just fucking shit on someone, cool. He was fucking straight ass, no cap on a stack 50-50 Skrilla, keeping it $1.50 with you.
What the fuck was that, Joe?
Yeah, man. What the fuck were you just saying?
What?
Skrilla? Man, you've been hanging around too many youngsters, bro. I mean, it's not really a fucking surprise anyway. With all of them, you got locked up in the cellar, you fucking sack of crap.
God damn.
Fuck you. You're just mad. You're fucking ass at the game, you fucking lard ass. I'm surprised your chair hasn't given out on you yet, you fucking orangutan.
Whatever you say, Sleepy Joe.
Fuck off! You Donald, get your Republican ass on siege with me and Barack.
I will, as long as you don't fall asleep during drone phase again.
It's okay, Donald. You know I will carry either way. I am Diamond 1.
Don't you think you've reinforced enough walls already, Donald?
How do you expect to keep these illegal aliens out of our bomb site?
No, that's not nice.
No way they hold that spawn peak. I hate to say it, my fellow Americans, I am dead.
Okay, they just pushed into 90 Hallway Joe. If you clutch this, I'll give you a small loan of $1 million.
This is why you're bronze 2, Joe. Okay, I say we invite Bill to play.
Play one without me, gentlemen. I have a meeting to attend first.
Hello, team. Hope we're all having a great night. I just ranked up to Diamond 3, so I hope we can win this.
Wait, Joe, what the fuck are you doing in my lobby? I thought you were still stuck in gold like Barack.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I can't catch a break, can I?
That's right, bitch. I'm now in Ascendant 3. I'm pushing Immortal 1 unlike you, pussy.
Boys, can we calm down, please? I'm just trying to enjoy the game. Why all the hostility?
I don't know who.
Jesus fuck, is that Dua Lipa? Why are you playing Valorant?
Well, unlike you pussies, I'm already in Immortal. I'm honestly surprised you both haven't quit yet.
I'm gonna throw this game. You're both not worth my time. Enjoy the loss of Elo, losers.
Donald, you useless shit. Stop throwing. Aren't you meant to be committing tax fraud
That's Andrew Garfield.
or something?
Andrew, I didn't ask for your fucking opinion. You're literally 0 and 15 right now. What is your excuse for that?
Donald, if you're going to insult the guy, at least be on the top of the scoreboard. You're throwing this game harder than you did during our election.
Holy shit, he did not just say that.
That's it, Joe. I'm fucking leaving. I hope you do rank this game. Peace out, fuckers.
Hey guys, I'm back playing some Season 2 of Warzone on Call of Duty. This time I have some special guests with me. The Don and Sleepy Joe. Can you guys say hello?
Hey, Nadia,
Hi,
how's
Nadia.
it going? It's a
I'm so
pleasure
excited to be playing Warzone with you. I cannot
Joe,
wait
can
to
you
get
shut
some
the
wins
fuck
with
up? I'm trying to do my intro and you're fucking ruining it. Thank you. Like I said, pleasure to be here fighting alongside you, Nadia. I just got off my 9 to 5 and I'm ready to get some double motherfucking use in this new update.
You work a 9 to 5, Don. I thought you get a pension for being president. What happened to that?
Oh, let's not talk about that, Nadia. You know I love to spend my money. I love money. Money's everything. Anyways, where the fuck did Joseph go? Hello? Joe? Are you there? This fucking guy, he's probably taking one of his
Biden naps.
Huh? What's happening? Where am I?
Joe, you fucking moron, you went AFK and now you're 2 clicks out from us. Get a fucking move on. Nadia and I are over here beaming shitters left and right like it's fucking
Oh my God!
We need your sleepy ass.
Might have to pay somebody to rig this for me.
Sick and tired of hearing you bitch all goddamn day long. Don't you ever stop complaining? I'll take a Biden nap whenever I want to take one. I'm on my way. Don't you fucking die on me, soldier.
Damn, Nadia, how the hell are you getting so many goddamn kills? Hold up, Nadia. I gotta go talk to Joe in a separate call real quick.
What?
Joe, I think Nadia's fucking cheating. Absolutely fucking beamed, shitter. Do you have access to her computer?
Of course I do, you goddamn orange. I'm the president of Uganda. I mean, of the United States. Of course I have access. Let me pull her screen up for you. Oh my God.
What, Joseph? What's going on? The fuck do you see? Tell me, Joe, what do you see? Is she cheating? I knew she was fucking cheating.
She's fucking hacking, Don. Unbelievable. I cannot believe this. This cannot stand.
That little fucking skank, bitch. I fucking knew it. Let's fucking team kill.
One in the door, Don.
Fucking obliterated, clown. Go back to placing blocks in Minecraft.
Nadia, I pulled your IP address and looked at your screen. I know you're cheating. You fucking hacking broad. I will have your ass banned from this game
Joe,
and
this
every
guy's
single other
fucking
game
running.
you try to play.
Come back here, you fucking Minecraft block placing ass clown.
Joe, what the fuck? Invasion of privacy? Please don't ban me.
Joe, fucking help me. Nadia, use your
What's
fucking
going on? What the fuck are you talking
to kill
about,
this
Nadia?
goddamn clown.
Shit. Donald
He's
needs
fucking
help.
running.
Let's go, Nadia.
Someone help me.
Fucking wild. Botchamania. I'm not sure if I can watch Botchamania.
Really, I gotta do this?
Yeah, no, I this shit's harder than I thought it would be. I wonder if the hands are too. I don't know. I got no clue. The fire
It has those antiquated mechanics that you just don't get anymore while still maintaining a solid level of uniqueness. It's not a bad game, and in fact, I'd say that it's the quintessential old Fire Emblem game.
Why
to
is
play.
this the hill you've chosen, Joe? FE3? Really?
This game has the worst UI the planet has ever
Donald,
seen,
just
but
let
you're
Joe have
defending
this
it
one.
like it's your
Nobody else
best
gives a
friend.
shit about FE3, man. Can we please move on to a game that all of us actually care about?
Personally, I've never played FE3 either, so I'd also like to move on to a game we can all say something about.
Fuck it. I can't waste my energy arguing about this old-ass game. I need to save it for when you motherfuckers try to push Thracia to the top of this list.
Thracia?
Thracia's going high whether you want it to or not, Donald.
Will you bickering school children please shut the hell up and move on? We're done with FE3. We're talking about Fire Emblem, Genealogy of the Holy War now. Personally, I think the plot of Genealogy and the world building is easily the best in the series, and it sells a really good narrative about fighting against your fate. It's got heroic characters, memorable moments, and I really think it should go at the top of this list.
I can't believe I was this guy's vice president. FE4, are you crazy? By the time an FE4 enemy phase is over, I could be at legitimate risk of dropping
Barack,
dead.
you're so far up your own ass with that world-building shit. Half of the Gen 1 maps are only in Augustria, and half of the Gen 2 maps are only in the Thracian Peninsula. What kind of sick moron came up with this progression?
Maybe the gameplay leaves a bit to be desired, but I also think the narrative holds up to this day. Just like in real life, it's only the 1% that do any of the damn work. Everyone else is too trash to contribute to their society.
Barack, this is the guy you have on your side? Are you sure you don't want to change your tune?
I might regret bringing Ben into this call a little bit, but I said my piece, and I'm going to stand for FE4 until my dying breath.
Bro, you can't even double unless you just happen to have pursuit. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Get it together. And as for you, Ben, don't make me bring Bernie into this call. His ass will talk your ear off about social inequality for the next hour.
Don't you fucking dare,
think
Donald.
I won't do it.
I know your ass isn't talking to me, Biden. You love Thracia. Or as I like to call it, retcon simulator. Can't believe Kaga decided to just butcher his well-written story by just contradicting it 1 billion times over in the very next game. What a fucking insult to Genealogy's legacy.
I really don't get what your guys' problem is with this game's mechanics. Gold is EXP and FE4. FE4 is really the only truly capitalist Fire Emblem game. Unlike all the socialists like Marth and Ike, in FE4, everyone makes their own future. And the ones that get the most EXP are the ones that are the most successful entrepreneurs, like Do.
Holy shit, this guy really only likes FE4 because he likes that there's a huge gap between good units and bad units? Bro is lost.
Yeah, no wonder you like using Do, Ben. Considering that stealing money from the poor is how you got where you are to begin with.
If FE4 ends up anywhere below B tier, I swear to God, I'm going to make those Capitol riots you incited look like fucking child's play, Donald.
Well, if FE4 ends up anywhere above B tier, you better fucking believe me and Sleepy Joe over here are gonna tear both you and Ben a new asshole.
You know what? I'm willing to settle for B.
I'm not happy about it, but it's a lot better than the alternative. You know what is a good game, though? Thracia 7 of 76, that's right.
Jesus Christ, not this shit again.
Honestly, I think that Thracia is a perfectly good Fire Emblem. The gameplay is pretty complex, but the plot isn't much worse off for it either.
I will never understand these motherfuckers. Are you listening to yourself? Thracia fog, ambush spawns, an escape objective that just loses you your whole party
I don't know what any of these terms mean.
if you mess it up. Siege tome spam, ambush spawn ballistas, maps where the enemies have over 50 additional avoid and hit because of authority stars.
For fuck's sake, if you don't have door keys headed into endgame, you're going to be up a fucking creek. This is your ideal Fire Emblem?
All right, then, let me make a list, too. The ability to steal weapons with thieves or by capturing. Crusader scrolls. Access to absolutely absurd weapons like the Kingmaker, all the brave weapons, the Vouge, the Graf Caliber, the Dire Thunder, and a 5. That's right, 5-use hammer and staff. A consistent stream of units that are so much stronger than enemies that it's honestly fucking disgusting. Movement stars. The ability to potentially even level up your movement. The existence of Tina as a whole. For as much bullshit as Thracia throws at you, the game gives you at least twice as much bullshit to use against the enemies. That's what makes it peak, Jack.
Yeah, peak bullshit maybe.
The concept of the game is one thing, but why the fuck did they have to riddle Kaga's genealogy plot with holes to make this game? They really couldn't have figured out a more graceful way to incorporate it into the greater plot of Jug Draw.
Brock, why are you acting like Fire Emblem games have good plots to begin with? If you want a great plot, go play a Xenoblade game, for fuck's sake. What makes Fire Emblem work is raw. Gameplay, integrity. And let me tell you, there are almost no games in this series with as much raw gameplay integrity as Thracia.
Honestly, if you put Thracia low, I might just straight up leave.
You heard him, Barack. Put that shit at the bottom.
As much passion as you have for this godforsaken game, I will not allow this to be a top-tier game in my household. And since I'm the one making the list, this shit is going straight into B tier.
B tier again? At this rate, our B tier is going to look like the goddamn Burj Khalifa by the end of this list.
I'm glad we were able to come to an agreement on Path of Radiance being a good game.
Hey, if FE9 hits the A tier, you won't see me complaining, that's for sure. The base in the Tellius games is to fucking die for.
Speaking of the Tellius games as a whole, we're on to Radiant Dawn, folks. What a bomb-ass game.
If by bomb you mean it's fucking garbage, then yeah, FE10 is the bomb.
Finally, this motherfucker says something smart.
Sorry, Ben and Donald, but I just checked with my guys, and turns out you just failed the Turing test.
What are you talking about?
Well, right here on this sheet of paper I have, it says, and I quote, no real human could play Radiant Dawn and think it's a bad game. So the only logical conclusion that can be made is that the subjects Donald Trump and Benjamin Shapiro are robots.
We're all robots, you dipshit. All four of us are AI voices.
Stop it with the ball breaks, Donald. And besides, other than genealogy, Radiant Dawn is the game with the best plot in the series. The multifaceted storytelling which switches between perspectives, which all culminates in an epic showdown at the tower against a literal goddess. This is good shit, man.
The word you were looking for is dog, not good, Barack. This game is dog shit. Radiant Dawn actually tries to market the discrimination against subhumans as a bad thing. What the fuck is wrong with not letting those filthy animals into your borders?
You know what Dane should have done? They should have...
We're not doing that bit today, Donald.
Bro, do you have to be so openly racist to the Laguz? Keep that shit to yourself, man.
Now, I'm not much of a plot guy, but let me tell you, the way Radiant Dawn does gameplay plot interaction is fucking unparalleled. There are so many goddamn mechanics that show up for maybe 3 chapters total in the entire game that exist exclusively to make the gameplay line up more with the story than otherwise.
And I'm not much of a gameplay guy, but the mechanics of Radiant Dawn are so sophisticated that it'll make just about anyone fall in love with them. Redistributable skills, ooh, baby.
Ooh, I'm FE10. Look at me. I'm so cool. I'll just give you an entire army of jobbers that you play with for half the game and call it gameplay plot coherence.
Also, Joe, weren't you the same guy talking shit about FE4's enemy phases? What happened to that, huh?
The difference between FE4 and FE10 is that in FE10, when you're done with a long enemy phase, you get a fun player phase. But in FE4, when you're done with a boring and long-ass enemy phase, you have another boring and long-ass player phase to follow it up.
Hey guys, sorry, but my mom is calling me. She said I've been yelling too much and it's time for dinner. I'm gonna go now.
You know what? Just put FE10 in B2. I'm out of here.
Bruh, okay, whatever.
This is the dumbest Discord call I've ever been a part of.
All right, let's hear what
Can we get to the main event? That's what everybody wants to hear about.
Let's do it.
For the WWE title, and they did another great package, and then Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. And did you like the way they sent Roman out first, and they attributed it to the champion's prerogative? He came out first so that Sami Zayn would have to stare into the... He came out first because they knew that they could milk the crowd, Sami coming out second for 10 minutes, and they did. This was great. They milked his music so the crowd would start singing. And then when they played the music, the crowd was singing that song. And they sang it forever. And the crowd was ballistic. You know, from the time Sami comes in the arena, gets in the ring. The introductions. Why do they have a 25-year-old female ring announcer? I miss Howard Finkel. I even miss Gary Capetta.
I miss announcers that didn't have to do this. The universal like that. They all do that now.
Especially 25-year-old girls.
I don't have a problem with I mean, they're good. They're good.
It doesn't
Does she need a mustache? We get Emi Sakura. Will that make you happy?
It would make me happier if she had a mustache, yes. And a long beard down to her crotch. Just something that a bunch of fucking old bastards smoking cigars around ringside from the athletic commission. Let's make it look like the good old days.
Yeah, everyone's dressed like Burt Sugar.
Yeah, Burt Randolph Sugar to do the weigh-in. But anyway, it went minutes. Fuck you, Roman, the chants and the singing. And neither guy got in a hurry, and they let the crowd do the work. And then I got a tickle that spread through my whole body. It started down low and then continued to grow. When they locked up, the crowd popped on the lockup and booed Roman Reigns' headlock. That was what the crowds were like in the 70s. Not even just the main event. If they had ever seen the babyface before, if they'd ever seen him on TV or he'd ever appeared live. And it was the second match on the card or whatever. When they locked up, the people would cheer, and whoever took control, they would boo or cheer. And I haven't seen it in a long time, but the people of Montreal, God bless you all. And they took their time at the first because the crowd was popping on headlocks and elbows. And then Sammy hit one of his flip dives to take Roman off his feet out on the floor, and the place fucking blew up. And then Roman took over, as he should have, and the theme of the match again was he's abusing and belittling the smaller underdog babyface, and Sami Zayn can sell almost like Ricky Morton. That's one that you saw, not only the body language, but the facial expressions. He looks like he's toast. And he sells like a fucking crash test dummy, but not in a out of control way. But that's Zayn's biggest deal as a babyface wrestler, is he can sell. And Reigns is such a great heel, and he fucked with the crowd, and he taunted them and taunted Sammy and took his time, talked trash to Sammy's wife, threw him out in front of her and toyed with him in front of her.
Hey, just in general, at this point and at various other points, you didn't feel at all like they slowed it down too much? Like there was too much of the time of Roman doing the talking at various points?
In the finish, I'll get to that, because I'm still a bug about that in the finish, when the finish takes for fucking ever and the clock's running on a referee bump or whatever. But here, no, because they were working for those people. And it was a special reaction they were getting. And for those people, that was the pace. Now, I can see where it may have gotten a little either slow, or we've seen it for the television viewer. But I think for the atmosphere that they were in, that kind of crowd and them being so interested in everything, you can kind of take the time to just Roman walks around and has that look on his face, and you can see it on the big screens, even if you can't see it in the giant arena from the back row. But I think it was good for that. Now, if they'd been in Los Angeles and the people had been going, okay, we got to make dinner late, then they needed to speed up at that point. I'll agree with you there. And I like the stuff with the wife.
Hello, Babylon.
Because she actually had a game face on and looked like she was concerned.
Did I send you the picture of the cats eating food? Hang on.
Smartened up or not? She probably is. Obviously, she
The
is,
cats.
But you could lose yourself in thinking
The gas station cats.
Exactly.
I have a gas
she did
station.
a good job. And
like a few blocks away from where I live, and they have cats in the back of the gas station. They have cats that live there, and they take care of the cats and they feed the cats.
Goes for a superplex, but Sammy fights out and hits that sunset flip power bomb. Gets a 2 count, and then Roman will stop him again, and he gets a couple more 2 counts, but
I scared you. I'm sorry.
They put this together so wonderfully that each time Sammy had.
Why did I scare you?
It was a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And
I took another picture today because I went to the gas station again today, and there's a pic of him eating.
Sammy leapfrogged the spear and schoolboyed him, got a 2 count, and Sammy Northern Lights team, or Exploder as they call it these days, over into the turnbuckles. And hit a Superman punch and a haluva kick. And Michael Cole, do you believe in miracles? He's a hockey fan. But they 2 7/8 on that, and it was a big fucking pop. And I wrote here, these false finishes have been great. Heyman was. I bet Heyman enjoys it when he can put a match together with guys that can actually do more than their 3 big moves, like the Brocks and the Lashleys and the high impact stuff he has to do. Anyway, Roman would keep trying to go for shit, but
I'm sorry.
Miss something or foil himself.
I didn't realize how much louder it was.
And Sammy got him back in, hit a blue thunder bomb for a 2 count. But it wasn't like that Sammy was at any point manhandling Roman Reigns. He was taking advantage of situations and hitting these things.
I do believe
Roman
in miracles.
would still physically, take over, impose his will, whatever. And then they crushed the first referee in the corner, old Rudy Charles. They call him what is his real name? The Dan Engler. He was Rudy Charles in TNA. Great kid, but they crush him in the corner. And then Sammy hits the kick and covers Roman, but there's no referee to count. And the fans get to count 3 and past, for him. And then Jimmy Uso appears and gives Sammy 3 super kicks and a splash off the top and puts Roman on top and jumps out. Second referee comes in. I'm like, okay, but 1, 2.
Oh, well, that's good.
Big pop. I'm like, okay. There's still life left in the old ginger after all. And they get back in a match, and Sammy's looking good, and Uso comes back up to the apron again. Sammy nails him off, turns into a spear. Roman covers him. Another 2 count, another big pop. Pat Patterson has come back. They're really pulling out all the stops. And then Roman starts slapping Sammy around and trash talking him and goes for the Superman and takes out the second referee with the Superman punch.
I don't know how to draw the mouth open.
By the way, there had been a little foreshadow of that when it looked like either Roman thought he was going for it or the referee thought he was going for it one time before, and they almost did it. But nevertheless, then Roman hit the Superman on Sammy, and everybody was down. And this is where I start, Brian, I see what you were saying earlier, I apply it to here. Now, our first referee's been down for a while. And honestly, I thought, and would find out later on I was mistaken, that referee number 1, Rudy Charles, a.k.a. Dan Engler, had been taken from ringside because he was injured. And now the second referee ran down, but he got Superman punched, so now the referee's out of the picture again. This is where reasonably the clock is ticking. Reasonably. And in most cases, if you don't get your shit done pretty quick, then people start going, oh, come on, bullshit. However, in this situation, the story has been so good. Everybody else has been so into it. They wanted to see what was happening. So this is one of those exceptions that proves the rule in that I thought it was going way too slow, but the people still stuck with it. But at this point, Heyman gets a chair and gives it to Roman. But then Jay suddenly appears, Jey Uso, in the middle of the ring, in between Sammy, who's down, and Roman, who's got a chair in his hand, is going to kill him. And Roman and Jay go back and forth. Roman hands Jay the chair, and Jay don't want to take it, but finally he does. And then as Roman walks over to trash talk Sammy, it's a tease by the positioning, if nothing else, and this was very well done, that he might hit Roman in the back with the chair, like Sammy did, and you heard the people coming up. And I wrote at that time, of course, one of these referees would be up by now, or another one in, but people are at least interested in this. So Roman finally takes the chair back and pie faces Jey Uso a couple times, like, what the fuck's the matter with you? You don't want to do what I tell you to do. And Roman, at the same time as he turns around to go back to Sammy, and Jey Uso is coming behind Roman from being pie-faced because he's going to bow up, Sammy runs, Roman ducks, and Sammy spears Jey Uso. And at that point, Roman grabs the chair, or has the chair, and hits Sammy like 6 fucking times across the back with the chair, and then hits a spear. And that's where I was. The first referee, Rudy Charles, a.k.a. Dan Engler, he comes back in. He's had to have been down at ringside for 10 minutes. People been in car wrecks. They've had heart attacks and got back to their feet in quicker time. That, again, nobody cared because this was so good and everybody was into it, and it's Montreal, and for all the reasons we've talked about. But goddamn, they've already run another. Couldn't they have run another one at least down where it didn't call attention to the fact that this guy regained consciousness after 10 minutes at the exact wrong moment? Just the little things.
I'll tell you what, on that topic, keep this in mind as you finish your review. Where did Jey Uso go?
Well, that's another thing. We didn't see a lot of Jey after that, did we?
He just vanished.
He just vanished.
Where did he go? Where did he come from, and where did he
Where,
go?
oh, where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I searched the world over and I thought I'd found true love. You met another and you was gone.
We were so close to the end of the show without a singing segment, but
that's why I had to get it in. So anyway, at that point, boom, the match is over. 1, 2, 3. Jimmy Uso then at Roman's direction gets on Sami Zayn, starts beating him up. Jay has disappeared. We still don't know what's going to... The fallout from this will be it's a fluid situation. And then suddenly, Kevin Owens music and the other Montrealer. Montrealian? Montrealite?
Quebecer.
Well, what if you live in fucking Montreal and not just in... Well, I guess it's the whole
That's
province.
the heart of Quebec, I get. Well, Quebec City may argue, but Montreal.
Well, it seems like Quebec City would have... Well, nevertheless, we're splitting hairs now.
They call you
Here
a
comes
Carpentier.
Yes, here comes noted Carpentier Kevin Owens. And he drops Jimmy in the aisleway, and he tackles Roman in the ring, and he hits a stunner on him. And then here comes Jimmy, and he stunners Jimmy. And he power bombs Jimmy through the desk, and he gets a chair, and he goes after Roman Reigns. And as Roman is down, he's got the chair. Here comes Paul Heyman from behind. They are unloading all the stops to make these people as happy as possible that Sami Zayn did not win this title, but they still saw everything they wanted to see. That Paul is going to get involved for the first time in recent memory. And he did funny comedy punches. And I'm saying, I know and I know somebody probably told him to do it. Again, Paul and I, we share a lot of common traits, but Paul could never work. Paul Heyman could never physically work. He couldn't take bumps. His offense looked like shit. That's the one thing he never got about the wrestling business. And there's no shame in that. But I always went under the assumption that I should look like I'm trying as hard as I possibly can to hurt this person. As a manager, I'm talking about. And I was ineffectual because I'm weak and he's a big professional wrestler. But I should still look like I'm trying to hit him hard. And then I get the shit kicked out of me. Paul's doing the comedy stuff like, wah, 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 wah. Nobody would really do that, even somebody that was a big pussy. So does it take the people out of the moment? Couldn't he have come with one attempted broad arm across the back like, I'll save the day, whack, and fucking Owens just do the slowly I turned, and then Paul shit himself? I'm asking you.
If you're going to get Paul to be physical, I think you save it for when when the wise man would absolutely have to jump in. And if he did, he would probably try with all of his might with one punch or something, not whatever those little girl punch. I hate that. I don't want to be sexist there, but
no, that is
punches.
Sexist because girls do hit harder than he was hitting. And it wasn't like he was trying to work and couldn't. He was obviously doing the funny punches. So I guess somebody got in the locker room, got a kick out of it. I don't fucking know. But nevertheless, Owens no-sold it. And dropped the chair and looked at him and booted him and gave Paul Heyman a stone cold stunner. And bless his little heart. You know, there's several times I've taken stunners over the last, since it became a thing. Took some from Brandon Baxter down in Memphis and a time or two on independent shows 15 years ago or whatever. I can't drop to both knees either because I have two bad knees. And it requires you to do that, or you can do like Paul did and modify it and go down to your left knee while you're still on your right foot so you can push yourself back up, which is what I would do. And that saves the shock on your knees. But then Paul stood up and started waving his arms in the air and started falling over sideways. And somewhere between 3 and 5 seconds after he had taken the stunner is when he landed on the mat, and he didn't even make a noise. How did he fall?
You know what that was?
Even in that manner. without making a noise on the mat.
Who was Paul's favorite manager growing up?
Albano?
How did Albano sell?
Oh, shit.
Think about it. That's exactly what Heyman did.
Oh, boy. Well,
damn.
Boy, howdy. He's taking his bump for this decade. Paul, from me to you, I swore him off. What was it? 5 years ago now. And you should too, if that's what you got in you. But anyway, then Kevin Owens was in the middle of the ring. Sammy was on one side. Roman was on the other side in the corners. And Kevin steps out of the way and lets Sammy charge across with the haluva kick on Roman. And Owens walks out because they still haven't hugged and kissed and reconciled. And I'm being a picky prick about as a wrestling finish, it would have gotten panned years ago because people would have seen through the referee being down too long and et cetera. But as a sports entertainment finish, and people accept these things now, this was fucking great. They saw everything they needed to see. Sammy was in every way protected while Roman still did not lose. But they got a good match out of it and a really good finish with a bunch of twists and turns before they did it, not like when they just cheated people out of everything with Brock and Lashley. So I again, that's what's been paying the bills and carrying the ball over there at the WWE, the Bloodline and Sammy. And now that we have established that Sammy and Cody are great friends and bosom buddies.
Oh God, what? Oh God, what,
Cody
Drew?
was pulling for Sammy. I'm sure Sammy will return the favor and pull for Cody, won't he?
Cody will get Owens and Sammy to be friends again.
There you go. There you go. And we're off to see the Wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. There you go. That was Elimination Chamber.
Let me ask you a few things about the main event and the finish of the main event, because it's been somewhat controversial online. Various fans with various things. Is there a fucking plane going by? I guess so, or a spy balloon. I'm not sure. But
did you piss off the Chinese again?
Quite about that. Any issue at all, any issue.
Wrestle Talk. Yeah, it's Jim Cornette. I love Jim Cornette.
Montreal, considering that crowd and everything.
I don't agree with everything he says, but I love listening to him fucking just rant about
talking about reactions
wrestling. Good background.
A lot of people lost their shit over the fact that Sammy has not won this. Didn't win the title and didn't win in Montreal.
If they ever thought he was going to, then they don't know how the business works and they're insane to begin with. They weren't going to.
I love how much he hates Kenny Omega. I disagree with him hating Kenny Omega, but I love how much he hates him because all because of the time he wrestled Yoshihiko. I to a point I do kind of agree with him about the Young Bucks, but not that much.
No, in some other situation, I'm not saying they wouldn't have. They put the belt on Kofi Kingston for fuck's sake at one point, but no, not when they had the most dominant heel of modern times champion that has been a champion for the past 3 years or whatever the fuck it's been, and is heading toward a showdown with the guy that they have handpicked to be the big.
Oh, someone asked Cody about neck tattoo.
From New York to the world, subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Ebro, Laura, Rosenberg. Good morning, everyone, and I'm very excited.
Who's Peter Rosenberg? Why do I know that name? Oh, that's right. Peter Rosenberg is... Yeah, he's a wrestling commentator. And he's one-time WWE... God damn it. Alright, Rosenberg, what do you got?
I just took over. I told Ebro and Laura to chill, because my dude is here. The one and only Cody Rhodes is in the building. And in New York, Barclays Center tonight. When was the last time Cody Rhodes appeared on a Raw in New York?
Gosh, I mean, whether it be Barclays or whether it be MSG, I think it has been 6-7 years.
What is
He's so dang
what
angry.
does it feel like right now? Like just being back. First of all,
Listen, Cody. Listen, Cody. His heart was in the right place. I believe the black community probably forgave him for his heart was in the right place. That's all that matters, right? And his little child is going to end racism. I believe his little child's going to end racism. I hope so. I hope it does. I hope she does. I think it's a daughter. I think he got a daughter. I don't know.
Your comeback a year ago was amazing, but now coming back again after injury, are you just psyched to get there, to get to work every week?
It's one of these things where I didn't like the final month before I came back in the first place. I really couldn't sleep anyways. I was having to try everything I possibly could just to quiet my mind down and go to sleep because I was really very giddy about returning to wrestling. I don't know if giddy is the most masculine of words, but very giddy. But also at the same time, giddy is what got me in trouble, lifting and just going nuts because I was so excited and I felt so much responsibility. This time I've just tried to be calm and cool and come in and do my thing and help in the best way I can. Not that WWE needs help, but it did feel like there was this absence on Raw, perhaps, and I'm really glad I could. Maybe it was just my absence, and I'm glad to jump back in and take that responsibility.
Well, I think I think the second you showed up,
Racist
adrenaline
in his soul.
Fans were like, "Oh, we needed a guy like this to root for on Mondays." Like that. It's a 3-hour show.
It is.
You know, and then SmackDown, of course, has been
Racism is gonna go.
Who's driving that show from an entertainment standpoint for so long? Raw did actually need something else. So when you showed up and you made that impact, and then you went away, yeah, I think you were missed right away. You could feel an absence that there was no Cody.
It's nice. It's nice to be missed, and I, having grown up in the company, I appreciate SmackDown for all it is and being on Fox and all that wonderfulness there. But Raw's still the flagship show. And it almost seems like maybe a younger generation of fans. Some of the kids, for example, that we have at the Nightmare Factory, I ask, hey, what are you watching? And this and that. I feel maybe they forgot that it's the flagship show. And it's the flagship show. You've got Bianca on there. You've got Seth on there. You got Becky on there. I'm back on there. And plus, there's so much crossover. We're in the Mania season where the walls are down anyways. Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen. Paul Heyman last week. But for it to be the flagship show, Cena being one of my biggest role models in the business, that's the kind of individual you want to pattern your steps after. And he's one that I've tried to do that and be very proud of being on Raw, being back on Raw.
Before you went to AEW, I was fascinated. Was it Rolling Stone? Who wrote the big article?
Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone article.
Yeah, they came to Hammerstein to watch us do our thing. Yeah.
And the story they told, though, about you and your dad and then what you wanted to accomplish, it's really what actually made me invest
the American Dream
more into what was happening.
My father,
you and the
sniff
of AEW.
The American Dream. Then the tears start to fall from his eyes. Dusty Rhodes.
That whole thing go essentially
my father,
as you would have hoped
the American Dream.
Would have?
I think
the Dusty Rhodes. That's really, how it is. That's what
a lot of people will look at it now and be like, "What a plan!"
Every
what
Cody promo.
Plan.
And I fucking fall for it every time.
Business, and this is an honest, true goal. I was able to share this the night after WrestleMania. I was 8 years old. I wanted to win the WWE Championship because my dad had never won it, and I wanted to hand it to him. That was the first goal I'd ever had, and now on the road to WrestleMania, I have this opportunity to do part of that goal. But after I left from my first run with WWE, my goal was really.
Dusty Rhodes is the greatest. That's correct.
You know, sometimes when I had grown up in the WWE system, so I felt like maybe I hadn't reached across the aisle enough. Maybe I hadn't done enough grassroots. And then it became,
But I do think that Cody...
Small spoiler, I guess. I was trying to come up with this idea for a weight belt, for a very specific PLE or pay-per-view, whatever we want to call it.
It's going to be like Randy Orton.
Promotion I worked at.
Where...
because
and he's not going to be like Curtis Axel.
Thing I did was these
Or
this
his former
connection with
tag
his
team
fans
partner,
and
Ted
getting to know
DiBiase
them and
Jr.
grassroots, and that became really my bread and butter. But
Where's that fucking... I need to find that clip. Mortal Kombat 12 is real? Why? Here, I need to find the clip. Where is it? It's the clip that has the raccoon song, the fuck on me set to the fucking raccoons theme song. I know I have it here. It's one of the latest. He's just a big old fat southern I guess to a point. I think I don't I might be out of line saying this, Drew, but I don't like that Kid Bandit is no longer they them. They're gonna be a she her. Maybe I'm not sure.
He's dead. Jim's dead. Jim's dead.
I think that's been forgotten.
I love you. Let's remarry.
Hang on. Botchame.
If your child
And they were to wrestle in male and female events. Oh well, Kid still kicks ass. It was neat, man. Octopath 2 is just Southerners in a fantasy world. That's what it looked like. I hate these ads. Oh wait, no.
Quite a number of
Maybe it's here. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, yeah. When Rush's match ended prematurely at ROH.
Stefan standing up, man. He ain't scared. Look at him.
Two of my party members just sound like people I know. That's actually great. That's a good RPG. Fuck on us. Fuck on us. Where's that referee? That's my favorite. That's so far that one's my favorite fuck on us or fuck on me gag.
Then a plan still hadn't developed. So I can't say it went the way I thought or it went the way I didn't think, as much as I'm just really proud of every step on the way. It was very much a broken road and very much you think you're going in a straight line to reach your destiny or your path, but you're all over the place. I think I said that, you know, you often find your destiny on the roads you take to avoid it. So my plan was win the WWE championship. Then my second plan was do the most you possibly can for wrestling. Make sure guys and girls are getting paid more. Make sure that the infrastructure is better. Make sure that there's structure. So as far as that, I think we did accomplish that, and I was part of accomplishing that. So
when you created, I think undeniably, you know, regardless of how you feel about each product, by doing what you guys did, you created another place. Like, this is why I always argue that the existence of AEW is good for WWE.
Sure.
You created another place where people can work on television and make money and develop their craft.
Yeah.
They may not do it always in a way that I think I regularly watch and go, well, that wouldn't work at WWE. Yeah. And those things can be taught. But I still think it's valuable when there's more jobs for people to get. And that if it doesn't work out for you in the WWE system, you're just not the fit, there's another place to aspire to go to. Independent-wise, and then importantly, to get TV as well. Because that's an important piece. Like, a lot of people may be great on the indies, but when they show up at TV and have to figure out how to deal with cameras, it's a whole different operation.
It is. I almost look at it like different forms of education. Whereas WWE is the biggest, the best. I mean, you were looking at Patrick Mahomes this morning holding his version of the WWE title after winning the Super Bowl. But it's 100. I'm glad. I hope you don't have to argue that with many people. It's absolutely good for the industry to have these.
Here's what I should. Here's what I can do. I'm gonna probably use this as a reference for if you want your PNG thing.
So he's dashing Cody Rhodes. He's always this. Gosh, no, really, you don't finish where you start. It's all about learning and shaping and owning your mistakes and failures. The greatest teacher. And I definitely hit some speed bumps and tripped quite a bit in my final final year away, but coming back without all of that, I wouldn't have been, I feel like, as complete as I am now. But it's absolutely nice to have those options. Again, there's no war, and especially amongst locker rooms. If you're putting your boots on, girls and boys, we're bonded. We're brothers and we're sisters. There's no war.
That's a real point that's missed by fans a lot. That like, I can't emphasize enough how like everyone's just, it's a small industry. So like everyone wants their friends to be successful. No one's being like, I really hope. Obviously, everyone wants to be the best themselves. I will say last thing on your past prior to coming back to WWE. What obviously you took some friendships with you though that are pretty tight. Everyone knows you're really tight with Ricky Starks.
Apparently,
everyone knows everyone knows
that weird security cam photo or whatever it was.
Yeah, interesting how that got out there. But who is there anyone else that you like? I'm sure there's lots of people, but anyone else in particular that you have a relationship where you've imparted them with lots of advice and wisdom?
I mean, there was a huge group of. That was my favorite part about having that job was the leadership aspect of it. I don't know if I was good at it or not, but we had.
Well, some would say it appeared that after you left, things got a little worse. So,
well, I mean, like we had like a book club. We would. It's not a place.
Wrestling books or all kinds of books?
Just all. I
found it.
It was like the first one. We'd pass out biographies to younger guys and girls that maybe didn't get that experience, and I'm not the person who wrote that book, so and maybe that person's passed on, but I know I talk to them so they can get something from this. I honestly consider everybody there somebody, even people who are there now who they're in this company that I helped create. I'm proud of in a sense, just because that's a cool feather in your cap. But I mean, all of them, I don't look at them so much from an aspect of friendliness. I'd say like Wardlow and I are friends. But the other ones I look at from the aspect of they were I don't want to say students because they weren't, but I was able to help them. So I'm proud of them in that sense, in terms of as they develop promos and as their matches change and as their physiques come alive, guys and girls. It was a pretty long list. Even the ones that were a little bit, wrestlers and creators sometimes were like this, button heads on putting stuff together. But even those
I need to send you this clip of Ricky Starks.
And I'll never not. I don't expect any of them to raise their hand and be like, hey, Cody really helped me.
Dude, this fucking Ricky Starks
took it a little personally that didn't happen. But
probably one of my favorite wrestlers right now.
And you rarely get that back.
Right. You give blindly, especially wrestlers.
And then when you die, you get really nice tweets.
So I always say like, this big fear I had, and now it's gone. I don't have this fear anymore. But my dad's career was really revised while he was alive. Just the other night, I'm talking to Paul Heyman about this 2000 ECW run. That was a period where everyone had like ostracized him from the industry. And then he passed away, and all those same people wrote the nicest, kindest things, and they kind of gave him his due. And WWE continues to give him his due because his kids are out there still, not me. I'm the ones Paul mentioned it. People like Roman. People like Kevin. People like Sammy. Everybody, yeah. So I was always afraid that maybe my contributions from that perspective will be denied. But again, that's not why you give. And in this era of everyone's got the receipts, half the events and things like last time we spoke, we were speaking about something differently. It's all on the record what we did. So I don't need to worry about it anymore. I just need to worry about what I do next.
I totally appreciate that. Believe me, like that's something I think I appreciate your honesty about that, because I think ego-wise, those things are hard. I think about it all the time with things that I do. Like, I hope people know that. And then you're like, you got to just kind of do what you do. And the story, it's all out there. Is that it? What's it like for you being the child of someone who had a bond with so many of your colleagues? I mean, like, he's your dad, but he was a father figure to practically everybody in that locker room, it seems.
It's something I didn't get adjusted to till recently. I remember speaking to Triple H about this like last week. I don't know if I got adjusted till just when coming back at the Rumble almost. The reason being is, he was my father, and I was his biggest fan, and we talked about wrestling all the time, but he didn't train me. He did give me 2 bumps when I was 15 years old, a hip toss and a body slam to let me know how the ring felt, and it felt bad.
Cody, come here. I'm
after
gonna
he
give you a
let
body
someone else
slam.
train me, sent me to Florida a little bit, and then I went to Ohio Valley Wrestling, of course.
Who was the first person he sent you to?
The first people he sent me to were these guys. People who follow TNA will know them. It was Bruno and Tilly are their names.
Okay.
And huge. I think Tilly's the big one, like 400.
Okay.
I remember at my first week, which was like get ready for OVW week, he gave me a leg drop off the top rope that I thought would decapitate me. It didn't. It was he was a pro. But yeah, he sent me all around different places, and at Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling, which was his office, he wouldn't let me have a full match with the training group. It was a lot of power plant guys like Ray Lloyd. But as soon as the door shut, those guys were really cool about, all right, Cody, get in here. All right, we're going to call it you as you go. If your dad comes in, just keep hitting the ropes. Because I was allowed to hit the ropes, but I wasn't allowed to have a full match. So they were in on the bit with me. I'd be in there getting a match called to me at 15 years old while I was still in my amateur wrestling season. But again, he stepped out. Then I got called up to Raw in 2007, and he was on the writing team, and he stepped out. And he told Arn Anderson and Ed Koskey and a few people, like, hey, look out for him, Arn particularly. And Arn took it in a deliberate, like, I'm going to be really hard on him sense, which I now really greatly respect. Didn't know at the time. But that meant, like, to your point, I never got these big conversations about what it's going to be like under the lights at Raw, what it's going to be like when you do this thing with Rey Mysterio. And even when he would come in for little pieces with me, whether it was a thing I did with Ray in Sacramento or whether it was as far as the battleground stuff with me and Dustin, he never divulged. I just got to watch him perform. He never talked.
Why not? Why did he?
I think, Paul Heyman will tell you because maybe he didn't think I was ready. And Paul Heyman always has also said that he treated me like I was the daughter of the family, very proud, his pride and joy, but also maybe didn't look at in a sense that I was going to move forward in the wrestling space.
Right.
I think it was just because he never wanted to have a bad discussion with me. He wanted to be proud of me, support me, but he never wanted to have a real talk about wrestling because it is getting into pro wrestling, getting into sports entertainment this day is so easy. Making it financially and on screen from an optics standpoint and everything, making it is, almost impossible, getting out of the lower to the middle card. And maybe I think he had all the confidence in the world in me, but I just think he wanted me to do it totally on my own, which is funny because I mention him so much in these interviews and stuff, and there is a side of the audience that's like, why is he always talking about his dad? And it's hard during this run to WrestleMania to not talk about him because the specifics of getting this title that he never got is also shouldered with what I just told you about trying to kind of vindicate this legacy and career he had. But really, really to summarize, it almost felt like he was creating these opponents. Like I look at Seth, I'm like, this guy was built partially by my dad, and it's my job to beat him. That's like playing on the other side. Your dad's the head coach.
Yes.
And you're the quarterback on the other team.
Correct.
It's a
dude, that's fucking awesome.
Dynamic, but again,
that's such a cool dynamic. Dude, Cody's a fucking anime protagonist.
You don't want to be them. You want to be better than them. And when you say that out loud, people are like, oh, what a jerk. Like, how's he going to be better than Dusty Rhodes? Or how's Ashley going to be better than Ric Flair? Well, we don't grow up just, hey, we're just going to be them. You want to be better. That's the hardest thing to tell somebody. And I think that's maybe why we never really became a student and a teacher, because he knew I was trying to come up and be better. He knew I was trying to replace the older lion. And as strange as that is, finally adjusted to it, I suppose.
Did your brother get a different version?
Yeah. I'm real excited because A&E is doing this documentary on Dusty. I believe it comes out I think Dusty's airs the week before Mania.
Okay.
And it's told through the eyes of his 4 children. So my sister Teal, my half-sister Kristen, and my Dustin. Vastly different. And the hardest thing about it, and I was the executive producer on the documentary, and I really wanted to be fair to everybody. The hardest thing about it is there's an interview he did about 2 weeks before he passed that I'd never seen.
Oh, wow.
Oh, fuck.
And he really owns the first part of his life. The second part of his life was my part. It was great. never missed a wrestling match, was the ultimate team dad, did everything I could, and like, you know, never gave me those hard conversations, just believed in me fully. Dustin and Kristen had a different life, and to see that and see how we kind of have all come together is a very unique way to tell a story. I didn't agree with the way the story was being told until I saw the first cut of it and thought, yep,
That's it.
this is how it should
So
be.
you guys, you had that essential, that this is a very common experience. The first marriage, first set of kids, didn't get it right. Second time around, knew how to be a dad. Just a different experience. I mean, that's a kind of a story old as time. A lot of dudes, they get into it the first time, thinking they're ready to be a dad, and lo and behold, they're not.
Yeah.
What kind of role did Dustin play in your life as a kid? Did he and did he train you at all as well?
Nope.
That gave you zero.
I mean, he was more helpful as far as we would get in the ring together, and he actually came to my amateur wrestling practices, and he'd wrestle with me on the mat, which was fun because we'd really go at it. And we did not have a childhood together, so that was unique.
How much older is he?
16 years. Wow. But Dustin, I don't give Dustin enough credit as far as how important Dustin was to me growing up. And how I know how important he was I'd go to the Omni shows in Atlanta, and Dustin would go out maybe to wrestle Stunning Steve Austin or Brad Armstrong. And he got they don't exist anymore, really. Or maybe they do. He got what we used to call a chick pop, where all the women would just go nuts over him. And he was also so tall. And I thought, I remember being there and thinking, yeah, I came here for Sting, but that's my favorite wrestler. You know, it was my brother. And I don't ever, talk to him about that, or I never really told him that. I have now, but again, it's how brothers talk. You don't want to get on that emotional level, but I don't give him enough credit as somebody, even as a teenager when Goldust was happening. I was a bit of an old soul. I had figured out it didn't shock me. I get what he was trying to do, entertain people. And maybe he was the bad guy in the entertainment segment. But, he's one of my favorite wrestlers, and I don't give him enough credit. And then having been in the ring with him when we tagged together or when we wrestled one another, he is one of top 5 that I've ever touched in terms of how quick he is, in terms of his general communication, in terms of his conditioning. And he's 50-something years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I always tell
he still doesn't look like he's taken that, old man slowdown. Like, I haven't seen it yet from him. He still looks like him.
He hits the ropes like Luke Gallows hits the ropes, where you can hear the ping, and he doesn't have a saddle walk. He's also not doing 2 hours of prep work before you go out there to bring himself back. He's just a great athlete. He got a lot of that athleticism from Dusty. People don't realize how good of an athlete Dusty was because he looked the way he looked, especially on the basketball court or on the baseball field. So he's Dustin's one of my favorite wrestlers.
Oh my God.
Doesn't get enough credit. Very, very proud of him, and also proud his daughter Dakota is a photographer in wrestling now, and I feel like,
dude, where is that? Where is that? I want this. I want this, but I want it to be Dusty doing like a fucking layup. Cody mentioning Dusty doing basketball. All I can think of is like this fucking that meme, the perfect cell ballin' meme or the Venom meme, and it's Dusty doing fucking layups and slam dunking people and jumping like fucking 8 feet in the air, even though he's like 300, 400 pounds. And then he does a slam dunk and he destroys the fucking basketball hoop.
I'm just happy, the industry continues to, whatever they choose to do. All these grandkids and my own daughter now, whatever they choose to do.
Okay, yeah, he has a daughter.
I'm not going to look at the business as a bad place. It's a good place.
How do you reconcile the sort of weird relationship between WWE and your dad? It's like, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
Like, in one sense, he's so revered and treated with such unbelievable respect. like up there among the most respected names, I believe, ever in the company. When you hear about the Pat Pattersons, you hear Dusty Rhodes, like his name really garners that kind of respect. But at the same time, you hear the stories that the Virgil was a rib on your dad, and the African Dream, all these different things. I just find it very confusing, and I imagine that you must have found it somewhat confusing too.
So one of the things, again, not to just, I'm so proud of this documentary, and one of the things I was told as a kid was that right after, we're right down the street, we're talking about March 12th, the Garden, and right after these Garden shows with Superstar Billy Graham, that Vince McMahon wanted to use Dusty and Superstar for his expansion that would become what we know as far as where we work and all the biggest global sports entertainment wrestling entity on the planet by far. But they had booked like recording studio time. They were going to make an album. This is again before rock and wrestling, but Vince had these ideas of reaching out beyond pro wrestling. And I'll tell you, as a kid hearing that story from Dusty, I didn't believe it. I thought it was, I'm watching VHSs of Coliseum Video, Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, and I thought it was his way of catching up to like, hey, I was really special too. I was really good too. And he didn't need to do that, but everyone's got an ego. Come to find out, one day I'm sitting by the ring. This is before I left. I was still doing Stardust. And Vince told me the exact story, how mad he was that Dad left and he was going to give him the whole world and he wanted him to be the Hogan and all this. And then I remember my dad telling me about how Hogan used to come to Championship Wrestling from Florida and watch him and revered him. And it just sounded like, oh, you're just trying to kind of chase that
until
clout.
You heard it from Vince.
And then I heard it from Vince. And then I heard it from Hogan. And then I heard it from Bruce Pritchard. And again, it was something I was like, I hope we cover this on the documentary because I consider Dusty Rhodes a Mount Rushmore guy and not because he's my dad. If it's son Mount Rushmore, I'm putting just 4 Dusties, right? But I consider him that from the industry perspective. Closed circuit becoming pay-per-view, the big event, the idea of the sizzle, matching the substance to a degree, especially with what him and Superstar did in the Garden. That's why the Garden is so dang special to me. But this was it was great to get this part of the story out there and to hear it from Bruce as well. And then again, like you say, he comes in, he's past his prime. And to hear this version, well, now we've got
put him in the polka dots and they do the whole thing and blah, blah. It's, by the way, still turned out, I just do want to say, we always kind of like, the whole Common Man song is awesome. And there was really great stuff that happened there too, but you can't help but look at it. So that's interesting. And so Vince felt spurned by Dusty.
Yeah, and then I don't believe he took it out on him. If you hear it from Vince himself, he just thought he was past his prime. Let's do some fun stuff.
Got it.
But when I try to tell fans that the polka dots wasn't a rib, it's one of those things where they will argue with me on it. And I don't want to argue about this stuff. Like, hey, however you feel. In the past, I tried to argue it. No, it wasn't a rib. It was, he was a bit older. He was past his prime. Let's have some fun. The only thing I can offer as substance that it wasn't a rib is he was in major rivalries. Ted DiBiase, Macho King at WrestleMania, bringing Liz back to the ring. Big Boss
Elizabeth.
Man. I mean, he was in major rivalries for the tiny amount of time he was there.
He was prominent the whole time he was there.
He was prominent the whole time he was there. He was on before intermission or on last, depending on where Hogan wanted to go on the card. He made them. My mom will tell you now the secret of our finances is slightly more out on the surface because of myself, but my mom will tell you is also where he made the most money he'd ever made in his career. And prior to that, he had been executive producer and a top talent with the NWA. So I don't mind when people are like, oh, they don't love the Rhodes. I like the narrative about the McMahons maybe pushing the Rhodes a bit. It's a fun narrative.
Well, and it could lead to a really fun story if you want to tell it.
There also might be some truth in it,
Right, sure.
There might be. Vince is this Adonis in terms of the physique and what he wanted. Maybe we don't check his box. However, we still all come together with these random royal families of wrestling, and we still offer what we offer. And I want to just make it clear how high up we are on the list. I get the opportunity to do this at WrestleMania.
So March 12th, you'll be at the Garden, and the Garden's an interesting place. I don't know if this is something you've watched recently, but do you know your dad and Roman's dad had 2 matches at the Garden, I've been told.
I actually, if you're about to tell me this, I feel bad. I don't know this.
So I figured you might not. So shout out to my friend Brian Mann.
I know Brian, man. I think
you do. You were actually in the same kindergarten, not the same classroom, but the same school. But you didn't know him then.
Which one, Lovejoy or Garrison Mill? Because
I think Garrison
I
Mill.
doubled up at kindergarten, folks. It was an older kid.
But he did. Brian recently did the video. Did an awesome job. He made a video of your story with. He has a YouTube channel called Outside Interference.
Got it.
And I'm trying to remember which story of yours he told on there, but it was phenomenally done. One of your AW stories. Anyways, he told me yesterday, because he's working on potentially a new one. He said, "Did you know that Cody's dad and Sika had 2 matches at the Garden? One was a 6-man, and one was a tag. So there is some history there with your dads also, which I thought was a pretty cool twist too. And they're on YouTube. At least one of them is findable.
I mean, the ultimate question is what was the finish?
Right. I don't know the finish yet.
I mean,
if I'd really been a professional, done my research, Greg, can you help me find out?
It's almost better to not know. Just, of course, I knew they interacted. Of course that, and something too about my dad was he was really big when we were at wrestling events or we were backstage, or if I was going to be backstage, or if I was watching somebody that had legacy in the business. Like I remember I watched Road Dogg on Raw, and he explained to me who he was, that he had been in the Marines. He gave me a story that no fan would know watching, and then ultimately they would cover it on Raw as well. But he was really big about just the Samoans in general. When we'd see him in the green room at WrestleMania or anything, watching them interact was very fun. There was a layer of respect that was really special. It's one of the reasons, like, I won't sit down until Undertaker sits down. I won't break a handshake with The Rock until he breaks it. These guys, I tell my kids at the Nightmare Factory this, the business doesn't move forward without them. Like, it isn't just going to be here tomorrow.
Right.
You have to continuously make it here tomorrow. And without what, all of Roman's family did and what my family did and these greats, it doesn't move forward. So it's really wild looking at the WrestleMania poster and seeing a Rhodes, a Flair. It's
pretty cool.
It's pretty unique.
I kind of wish Cody would have a podcast. I would
tell you, I sometimes can't.
Cody is just really good at talking about wrestling. He's like the Joe Rogan of wrestling talk. Where Joe Rogan just he's got a good voice, and even though he's like a crazy conspiracy nut, he's really good at talking. And Cody's really good at talking. And he's really good. He's really good at being a company man. I love how good he is at just fucking smoothly, where it doesn't look shameless. It looks like he knows the assignment.
I did an interview with you in your WWE days. You did Cheap Heat with me and Shoemaker as Stardust. Yeah, and you were very funny, and you stayed in character the entire interview. We still have drops that we play of you saying my name. You're really funny and entertaining, but at the same time, would I have been able to guess, like, a time's going to come when he's going to leave and he's going to come back, and when he comes back, he's going to get the ultimate treatment, the #1 guy treatment. I mean, your return at Mania was an absurd return. I would have to think and count on one hand returns that I can recall being that way. And immediately are the #1 good guy on Raw. Like, there's a woman who's helping me out who's helping me and my fiance out at home clean the apartment this weekend. And her husband told me, "Oh, my wife's a wrestler. You saw you." He goes, "I didn't know you do SmackDown TV." I said, "Yeah, I do WWE." And I saw her and I said, "I'm gonna be interviewing Cody Rhodes tomorrow." She was like, "Oh my God," and she was like, "Cody Rhodes." And I have to tell you, I'm like, I don't know that I pictured a time where a random, 50-something, 60-something-year-old lady would go, "Oh my God, Cody Rhodes."
You didn't see it coming.
I did. Did you always know that would happen eventually?
One of the reasons people, I think, again, the polka dots is not unlike Stardust, where if I try to explain, Stardust is like a Facebook status. It's complicated. There were things about it I really did love, but then there were things about it that hurt so much. And one of the reasons I always did everything in full gimmick, I was not able to do it halfway. I would have broke doing it. Okay, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it. I was wearing my knee pads for that interview. at 6, like I had to be fully in it and fully committed to it. But one of the things that was on the negative side of it is it made me not see things that were coming. As a kid, all I ever wanted was the top position, the franchise spot, to win the championship that my dad never won, and all of that. But Stardust
That's
got
really
me so
odd.
far away where you start to finally ask yourself, okay, and I've never had one, but what's your plan B? Okay. Can you live with this? Can you live? And the answer was no. You know, Brandy's told that story about me getting out of the car at the Scranton Best Western and throwing a Yoo-Hoo bottle against Rock's face on the side of one of the production trucks. I was just so angry. I couldn't.
I like that it was a Yoo-Hoo bottle, though.
I don't know why it was a Yoo. To this day, I'm like, I don't drink a lot of Yoo-Hoo, but maybe it's just one of those road trips where there wasn't a lot of options. Yeah, I didn't at that point. All confidence in the world, and I didn't see it coming either. But that's really what my career has become, and it is, all 3 times we've talked, I feel like that's an important thing. Is
That's so
especially,
strange.
I'm looking at potentially wrestling Roman Reigns at WrestleMania or Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn seems so improbable, but my career has really been a story of the improbable. Okay, how can Stardust be the guy to go and be part of this work rate group in the Bullet Club in Japan? Or how can he ascend to the top of that? Oh, can they get 10,000 seats without a machine behind them? Yep, they can. Oh, can they get this alternative on another television? Yep, they can. That's really the number one thing in my playbook, is being when people bet against and when the goalposts move. So no, I didn't see it. It's like a light bulb went off at the Royal Rumble, particularly. I was telling my buddy this the other day. I don't want to take this for granted, but I came to the live events last week, Columbus, Pensacola. I love being on the live events, by the way. If you come, the Garden is a live event. If you come to the live
They're
events,
so good.
you get a different vibe from me as well. And I looked out, and it was just 3 rows deep of these Nightmare Family weight belts, these little plushies, and I remember telling him, I'd only ever seen that for 2 guys, Roman and John. And I was saying, like, hey, if it was just one weekend, it was the best weekend ever. But what's happening here? Why is this happening? And why is it happening now? I'm entering the prime of my career, but I've been doing this for a minute too. What was the holdup? And I guess I just chalk it up to, in the Rumbles where the light bulb went off for me, I feel like I have found myself. I probably said this before in an interview too, where, hey, I found myself. I know who I am.
Right. No, but it's different. It can hit different.
I feel like I found myself, and it's a really calm place to be in when you found, like, no, this is what I do. I'm not the best at this. I've tried it. That's how I know. But this is what I do, and this is what I can offer, particularly to Monday Night Raw. But that was just, again, when we spoke, I remember that interview pretty vividly. I remember that whole morning because it was 6 a.m.
Yes, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, Radio Row at Mania, right? Is what it was.
It's so funny. That used to be my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
And now that I've been fortunate enough to do the kickoff shows, and I don't really do radio anymore. Yeah. I also don't miss it because it's so early. It's such an awkward time to have to interview someone. It's like 6:20 a.m.
I think it's awkward too. Like, it's great to interview all the talent about WrestleMania, but it's hard when you're not on WrestleMania,
Well, yeah, you get people sometimes, you're like, I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah,
they may be bummed out. There are people who are bummed out who are there.
Oh, of course. Imagine it. We just had the Super Bowl. WrestleMania is the Super Bowl for us. If you're not playing in the game,
doing media is not as fun.
It's not. It's honestly almost not fun because but it's a great learning lesson. Okay, how do I help out my peers? What can I do? But you don't always think that way.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
You mentioned the goalpost moving. One of the most fun storylines in recent memory that we can recall. It's been, Montreal this weekend.
I remember I just leaned in and kind of went like that.
Here we go.
She'll poke fun at it on the arm. And I didn't want to be ashamed.
But originally it was just the Brahma Bull.
Right, exactly. No. Like I said, I found myself, right? Internally, which was ugh. But I may not, you never know. Again, it was hard to call with Stardust. It's hard to call what happens in this room now, where we're going to be next. That's the beauty of what we do.
Last and hardest question.
Oh, sure.
Why go with the full neck tattoo?
I don't know if this is a good answer, but it's the true answer. Again, it comes back to rock in this weird way. I loved the American Nightmare logo. As soon as it was out, Ryan Barkin, one of his artists, had put it together. I bought it up. I was like, I got to have that. That's it. You know, like I said, I found myself, right? I said, that's it. And you can change it, and you can put different state flags and country flags, blah, blah, all this good stuff. But I really wanted, I was watching Conor McGregor. He had that big chest tattoo. I thought, I'd really like this iconic piece of ink, and I don't even like tattoos. The one on my chest is for my dad. It's like an emotional tattoo. I said, I really want this. I said, maybe the chest. No, he's got it on the chest. Well, maybe the arm. No, but Rock's got it on the arm. Rock's everything on the arm. And I didn't want to be ashamed.
But originally it was just the Brahma bull.
Right, exactly,
the
the
first
bull.
thing, yeah.
Which, by the way, a fun fact, Sean Spears has a Brahma bull there that he had to put a panther on top of when he got into the business. So if you ever look deep into the if the panther's still even there, it's one of my favorite people. He's the godfather to liberty, wonderful guy. Didn't mean to oust him. But I wanted this brand, and I didn't want to be ashamed of it. And I'm certainly not, because it sits on my neck. And that was where I chose. And I told everybody in advance, I was like, just so you guys know, I'm coming to this pay-per-view with this. The tattoo's going to be on. I'm getting it 2 days before the pay-per-view. I'm going to wear a scarf at this press conference today. I'm just getting it done. And I don't think anyone believed me. And then I had it. And everyone's like, we'll expand it. Go down your arm now. I don't think I'm ever going to.
This is it.
This is it. And
how does Brandy feel about it? This is the most important question, let's be honest.
I think initially she made some jokes about it online. She kind of played it by like, hey, the wrestling world is really poking fun at it, so she'll poke fun at it
Right.
too. I don't think she really has an opinion. And I always wear a suit anyways.
Well, that's what makes it look unique, though.
And I
is
think
that you're one of the best put together guys, so it's an interesting look to then have like a very noticeable neck tattoo.
I think I really love it, and the more time that goes by, I love it. I joke it's a little bit bigger than I thought it would be, for sure, but it's just become part of. It was jarring, sure, to see it at first, but it's become part of what the American Nightmare really is as we developed it. Because when I came back, I had this wonderful return. Nothing's changed.
Did Vince didn't say anything about it?
No, there is a fun moment where I had such a great conversation with him. If I had not decided to come back, I still walked out of that meeting with him feeling really good. I brought him the old WWF title to show him, because I have it. You know, Dan Lambert gave it to me, and for free, shockingly. But he just made a comment. He goes, you know, we have the best artists and creative services department in the world. We could come up with some new logos for you. And I remember I just leaned in and kind of went like that and showed him, and he just did one of those classic laughs. Like, oh, never mind. That's it. So that's, you know, he knew we really can't change it at this point. This is what it is. And he said something really great to me that day. I was really, you know, I stood my ground. I said, I don't want to change a thing about myself, including my song. I want to have my elevator. I want all this. And he said something. He goes, well, that's what we're buying. It's not broke. And I thought, that feels good.
Wow.
Because I hadn't figured it out when I was here the first time. Everything was broke, and that was a nice feeling.
Cody, thank you so much for stopping by, man.
Oh, thank you very much,
man. The great Cody Rhodes.
All right, so yeah. That was a great interview. I'm gonna end the stream here, but thank you everyone that watched. I appreciate all of you for watching it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Feedback is greatly appreciated. I mean that, like 100%. You can be. I've got thick skin. Be as harsh to me as you want. I want to. I want to take criticism and use it to get better. That's the only way you're gonna get better, is with feedback. So thank you, and